Good morning, students. In the previous class, I have explained you all about the different properties of the lanthanides. I have explained the color of the lanthanides. Coming for the next property, that is absorption band. Study of absorption spectra. This is the next property of lanthanides. Here, in the study of absorption spectra, in D block elements or the transitional elements, you will have seen that the band will be like a broad band. In D block, the band or the absorption spectra appears like a broad band in the visible region, except lanthanum 3+ and lutetium 3+. Lanthanum and lutetium 3+, all tripositive cations, they show sharp or line-like bands. The band will be in the form of line-like band, that is sharp like band in the absorption spectra. You will observe the spectra in the form of line-like bands, that is in lanthanides. This is the next property. Coming for the next property, that is the magnetic property of lanthanides. Magnetic property. Here, these lanthanides, including spin magnetic moment, they also include orbital magnetic moment in the calculation of magnetic moment of lanthanide elements. Here, you all know that the nucleus is positively charged and the electrons are revolving around the nucleus. The electrons are revolving. Here, this electrons revolves around the nucleus having certain magnetic moment in it. It has a certain magnetic moment. If there is a magnetic moment due to what? Magnetic field. There is a presence of magnetic field, so you will observe a magnetic moment in this electron. This electrons rotate in 4 dimension in its orbital moment. The moment it obtains is orbital moment. Again, the same electrons rotates in this form, in its 4 direction. It rotates like this, and it is called as what? Spin moment. There is a spin moment as well as orbital moment present in this electron. Here, the spin moment is nothing but it gives a spin magnetic moment. Spin magnetic moment is obtained, and orbital moment is nothing but it gives the orbital magnetic moment. Orbital magnetic moment is obtained. The sum of these spin magnetic moment as well as the orbital magnetic moment gives the magnetic moment of lanthanides. That is here mu of S plus L, that is sum of spin magnetic moment as well as orbital magnetic moment, that is nothing but square root of 4S into S plus 1 plus L into L plus 1. Bohr magneton. The unit is Bohr magneton. Even for that is transitional elements, the unit is Bohr magneton. Even for this, that is lanthanoids, magnetic moment, the unit is Bohr magneton. It is calculated by using the formula square root of 4S into S plus 1 plus L into L plus 1, where S is the spin magnetic moment. It gives the spin magnetic moment and L is the orbital magnetic moment. This is how we calculate the magnetic moment of lanthanoids. Next property is complex formation. Complex formation of lanthanides. Here you all know that the tripositive elements in lanthanoids, the tripositive elements are present. The size of these elements are very large. The size is very large. So what happens to the density becomes less. Size is large and density becomes less. Density becomes less in this tripositive elements, that is 3+ positive cations. Size will be more and density becomes less. Therefore, these lanthanides, they form the complex with the donor ligands, ligands containing a donor atoms like nitrogen, oxygen and fluorine. If there is a presence of oxygen, nitrogen and fluorine as the donor atoms, then only these forms the complex formation. Lanthanides forms the complex formation. Lanthanoids forms complex formation only when forms complex formation when the ligands are having nitrogen, oxygen and fluorine as donor atoms. Complex formation takes place in lanthanide elements. If the donor, then for example, that is NCS, that is N-chlorosuccinamide is an example. Or if the donor atom is, if the chelating group is, it contains the oxygen as the chelating group, then it is an example for EDTA or oxalic acid, citric acid. These are some of the examples for this oxygen, that is donating ligands. This is about the complex formation of lanthanoids. They don't form the complex with the pi bonding molecules, or they don't form the complexes with aromatic compounds or vacant d, or if there is a vacant d orbitals also, there is no formation of taking place of complex formation in lanthanides. This is about the complex formation of lanthanide elements. Next, coming for the next property, that is atomic and ionic radii. Atomic and ionic radii. I am taking the tripositive elements, the atomic and ionic radii of tripositive elements, that is M3+ ions. In M3+ ions, the atomic and ionic radii, you all know that along the period and down the group, what happens to the atomic and ionic radii. When I move along the period, that is from left to right, in the periodic table, what happens from cerium to lutetium? When I move from cerium to lutetium, there is an increase in nuclear charge. Nuclear charge increases, the atomic radius decreases. You all know the regular trend, that is, as we move from cerium to lutetium, the charge increases but the atomic radius decreases. You all know that atomic radius is inversely proportional to nuclear charge. Here, if nuclear charge increases, atomic radius decreases. If nuclear charge decreases, the atomic radius increases. You all know about this. But in this lanthanoids, that is from cerium to lutetium, here what happens, there is a steady decrease in their atomic and ionic. There is steady decrease in atomic and ionic radii. Atomic radii and ionic radii. Due to what? Due to lanthanide contraction. lanthanide contraction. There is steady decrease in the size of these elements due to what? Lanthanide contraction. What is lanthanide contraction? You all know that the elements, the electrons fills in the 4f subshells in lanthanides. The filling of, as there is increase in nuclear charge, there is an increase in nuclear charge, 1 plus 1 electrons are added in each element from cerium to lutetium. In each element there is increase in plus 1 electrons taking place. Therefore, nuclear charge increases. As the nuclear charge increases, the filling takes place in 4f subshell. The filling takes place in 4f subshell. That is, in f subshell the filling of electrons takes place. You all know that the f subshell is not having a correct, that is, the structure of the f subshell is distorted. The structure of f subshell is distorted structure. Since it has a distorted structure or 8-fold structure, the f subshell is having a 8-fold structure. Due to its structure, what happens? It is less effectively shielded. Or the screening effect is less effectively takes place. There is a less effectively taking place of screening effect due to the structure of F subshell, and the filling takes place in F subshell. The shape is distorted, structure is distorted in shape, and therefore it is less effectively shielded. Therefore, what happens? The size of these from cerium to lutetium, there is gradual decrease in the size of these atoms. The size of the different elements decreases due to what? Lanthanide contraction. You all came to know what is lanthanide contraction. What happens to the size of the elements of atomic and ionic radii? That is, there is a steady decrease in atomic and ionic radii. Next property is, here there is a steady decrease in, you all came to know that there is a steady decrease in the atomic and ionic radii in lanthanides. Next, we will study about the consequences of lanthanide contractions. Consequences of lanthanide contraction. Coming for the consequences, the first one is anomalous property of post-lanthanide element. Property of post-lanthanide element. The elements which comes after lanthanum, are called as what? Post-lanthanide elements. Post-lanthanide elements means what? The elements which comes after lanthanum are called as post-lanthanide elements. In this is present in 5D series, that is third transitional, that is 5D, it takes place in 5D series in the periodic table. Next is, we will study about what is the anomalous property of this, what happens to the atomic and ionic radii of the post-lanthanide elements. Second property is atomic and ionic radii of post-lanthanide elements. Post-lanthanide elements. What happens to the atomic and ionic radii of post-lanthanide elements? Here, you all know that the elements which comes after lanthanum are called as post-lanthanide elements. That is, in the periodic table, the general trend is when you move from top to bottom in the periodic table, that is from scandium, yttrium and lanthanum. When you move from top to bottom, what happens? The atomic radii increases. Why there is an increase in the atomic radii? Because there is increase in number of subshell. N or subshell number increases. Therefore, there is increase in atomic radii. This you all know that. Since there is an increase in atomic radii, the general trend is atomic radii should increase. The first transitional elements that is present in this lanthanides series, that after lanthanum, that is from cerium, yttrium and lanthanum, there is increase in their atomic radii. That is in first transitional series. Coming for the second series, what happens in this zirconium and hafnium, niobium and titanium, molybdenum, tungsten, up to cadmium to mercury. When I move for second series and third series, in this you all will find that the atomic radii is that second and third series, they show similar atomic and ionic radii. Why they show the similar atomic and ionic? There is little bit similarities between the atomic and ionic radii in this elements. Why? Due to lanthanide contraction. You all know what is lanthanide contraction? That is, due to lanthanide contraction, what happens? There is similarities between the atomic and ionic radii between the second and third transitional series in the post-lanthanide elements. I am speaking about the post-lanthanide elements, not the lanthanide. In the post-lanthanide elements, what happens? The second and third transitional series, there is similarities in their atomic and ionic radii. But in the first transitional series, when you see the first transitional series, the atomic and ionic radii of second transitional series is little bit greater than the first transitional series. But second and third transitional series, they have same atomic and ionic radii due to what? Lanthanide contraction. That is, there is a poor shielding effect taking place in these. Therefore, they show the similarities in their atomic and ionic radii. Next property is density. Density of these lanthanides. Coming for the density, you all know that the size of these atomic radii or the atomic radii size is less. Size is small. They are having the smaller size in tripositive elements. Sorry, in post-lanthanides, I am speaking about the post-lanthanides. The size is small. So, what happens to the density? Density becomes high. Why? The molecules in that will be arranged very tightly. Therefore, the density becomes very high. Since they have the very high density, you see that the third transitional elements or transitional series, that is 3D series, they are having double that of second transitional series. The value is the double of the second transitional series. Due to what? They are having a very high density. Therefore, third transitional series has the double the value of the second transitional series, but the second transitional series value will be little bit higher than the first transitional series. But third transitional series will be having double the second transitional series value due to their high density. Density will be very high. Next property is basic character. Basic character of hydroxides in 3+, that is cations, lanthanides. Coming for the basic character, you all know that when we move from lanthanum to lutetium, what happens? The size decreases. The size decreases from lanthanum to lutetium. There is a steady decrease in the size. You all know that the size decreases as we move from lanthanum to lutetium. Here, these OH hydroxides, they combine with this atoms, lanthanum. Here the bond length between these atoms is very large. The bond length is very large. They are having a larger bond length. Bond length is very large. So if there is a large bond length, what I can do? I can break it easily. The bond can be broken easily. If I can break the bond easily, then it easily releases OH minus easily, or fastly it releases OH minus ions. Therefore, it is more basic. It is more basic. When I come for here, that is OH thrice to lutetium, OH trihydroxides, hydroxides. It is more basic when I come here. It is more basic because they are forming a larger bond between these OH and this bond. The bond is very large. So that what I can do, I can break it very easily. If I break a bond, then it releases OH minus ions quickly and readily. It releases OH minus ion. Therefore, it is more basic in nature. Coming for lutetium, in this lutetium, the bond length is very small. They are having a small bond length. If the bond length is small, then I can't break bond. I can't break this bond easily. So if I can't break it, I can't release OH minus ions. There is no releasing of OH minus ions takes place. Therefore, what it is? It is least basic. It is least basic. That is, lutetium is least basic. Coming for the basic character, when you move from lanthanum to lutetium, basic character decreases. Basic character decreases as we move from lanthanum to lutetium. This is about the basic character of hydroxides with hydroxides of lanthanides. Similarities in lanthanides. Next properties is similarities of lanthanides. Elements that is present in lanthanides, they show the similar properties. They have the same chemical properties. The chemical properties are same. They show the same chemical properties. So that I can't differentiate between the lanthanide elements. I can't differentiate because they are having the same chemical properties as well as the physical properties. They show the same properties. Therefore, I can't differentiate between these lanthanide elements. To differentiate these lanthanide elements, there is a certain technique, that is nothing but by using a ion exchange method. Ion exchange method is used to differentiate lanthanides. In ion exchange method, we use column chromatography. Column chromatographic method. In column chromatography, what they do? It's in this form. In column chromatography, there is a filling of resin taking place. This is a resin. The elements, if I take cerium, that is lanthanum, cerium, promethium, here the elements which are smaller in size, the size of the elements is very small, means they readily get attached with this resins, but elements which are very high, means their size is very large, those come out of this column easily. Like this, we are going to separate the lanthanide elements by using a ion exchange method. This is about the lanthanides. You all came to know about different properties of lanthanides as well as the consequences of lanthanides, what happens to the post-lanthanide elements, what happens to its atomic and ionic radii. Let's move for the next topic, that is actinides. In actinides also you all are going to study about what happens to its atomic radii, oxidation state. All this I am going to explain it now. Next is actinides. As lanthanides, the actinides means what? The elements enters into differentiating electron enters into n-2 into F subshells. Those elements are called as what? Actinides. Here the general electronic configurations of actinides is general electronic configuration of actinides, that is 5F 0 to 14, 6G 0 to 1, 7S 2. This is the general electronic configuration of actinides. Actinides means what? The elements which comes after actinum. The elements which comes after actinum are called as actinoids. They are called as actinoids. The elements which comes after actinum are called as actinoids. That is from actinum to lawrencium. That is AC to actinium to lawrencium. That is 89 to 103. Atomic number 89 to 103. These are called as actinides. Why they are called as actinides? Actinoids means they show the similar properties of actinum. They show the similar properties of actinum, therefore they are called as actinoids. Actinoids. Why they are called as actinoids? They are called as actinoids because they show the similar properties of actinum. They show similar property of actinum. Therefore, they are called as actinoids. Actinides means the elements which comes after actinum are called as actinides, and they show the similar properties of actinum. They are called as actinoids. Here, these actinoids, that is from actinium, thorium, protactinium and uranium. These are nothing but they are the elements of uranium. They are the elements of uranium. That is up to 92, atomic number 92, U92. They are nothing but the elements of uranium. The elements which comes after uranium, the elements which comes after uranium are called as transuranic elements or transuranium elements. Transuranic elements. The elements which comes after uranium are called as transuranic elements. Which are those? I'll tell now. Which are the transuranic elements? Here in the actinides, that is thorium, proactinium, uranium, neptunium, plutonium, americium, cerium, berkelium, californium, einsteinium, then fermium, mendelevium, then nobelium, then comes lawrencium. From 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103. These elements up to this, they are obtained naturally. These are obtained naturally. They are obtained naturally. The elements which comes after uranium, these elements are called as transuranic elements. Transuranic or transuranic elements or transuranium elements. Why they are called as transuranium elements or transuranic elements means they are man-made or they are artificially synthesized. These are naturally obtained, these are artificially synthesized. Coming further, these elements, as I said, all the actinide elements are radioactive elements. All actinides are radioactive in nature. Radioactive elements. These are all actinides are radioactive in nature, and the elements which comes after uranium are called as transuranic elements. Coming for the atomic and ionic radii. Atomic radii and ionic radii. Ionic radii of M3 plus and M4 plus ions, cations. What happens to the atomic and ionic radii of M3 plus and M4 plus ions means, you all know that as we move in the periodic table, the atomic radii decreases. There is steady decrease in the atomic and ionic radii. There is a steady decrease in the atomic and ionic radii. As there is a lanthanide contraction in lanthanoids, here also there is a taking place of actinoid contraction. Due to actinoid contraction, what happens? There is a steady decrease in the size of the atomic and ionic radii. There is a steady decrease in the atomic and ionic radii due to actinoid contraction. You all know that the filling takes place in F subshell. F subshell is filled here. The filling of electrons fills in F subshell. You all know it is poorly shielded. F subshell is poorly shielded. It is called as what? Actinoid contraction. Actinoid contraction is nothing but there is a poor shielding taking place in F subshell. Therefore, there is a taking place of actinoid contraction in this atomic and ionic radii in actinoids. Coming for the oxidation state. Here, these actinoids, in lanthanoids, the stable oxidation state is +3 and the highest maximum oxidation state is +4. But in actinoids, the minimum or stable oxidation state is +3 and maximum stable oxidation state is +7. Here this actinoid shows +2, +3, +4, +5, +6 and +7 oxidation state. They show variable oxidation state. You all may be thinking, even the lanthanoid as well as the actinoids, they lie in the same series or in the periodic table they are placed separately, then too they show the different oxidation state. Why? Let's know why they show the different oxidation state. You all know the general electronic configuration of lanthanoids. Lanthanoid is what? That is 4F 0 to 14, 5D 0 to 1, 6S2, and general electronic configuration of actinoids. Actinoids is 5F 0 to 14, 6D 0 to 1, 7S2. This is the general electronic configuration. Here in this, the energy gap, energy difference is very high and they don't involve in the bond formation. The energy difference between 4F and 5D is very high. They don't involve in the bond formation. But the energy difference between 5F and 6D is less. These both involve in bond formation. Therefore, the actinoids, since they have the energy difference less and they are involved in the bond formation, they show the variable oxidation state up to +7. Therefore, the oxidation state, it can attach up to +7 oxidation state. This is about the oxidation state of the actinoids. Next is color. Color of M3+ and M4+ ions of actinoids. Coming for the color, this tripositive as well as the tetrapositive cations, they are colored. They are colored compounds. They are M3+ and M4+. That is tetrapositive and tripositive cations are colored compounds. They are colored compounds. Most of them are colored compounds in tripositive as well as the tetrapositive cations. But if their F subshell in 5F0, 5F1, then 5F7. If the filling of electrons is 1, 0 and 7 in F subshell, they are colorless. Other than that, others are colored compounds. If the F subshell is having if 5F subshell is having the same number of ions, then moreover they show the similar colors. And the color is due to the FF transition that is taking place in the 5F series. The color is due to FF transition taking place in 5F series, in the same series, that is in 5F series. This is about the color formation. Next is complex formation. Next property is complex formation. This, that is actinoids, they readily form the complexes with the elements. The lanthanide forms the complex. Also including that, they also forms the complexes with the aromatic compounds as well as pi bonding molecules as well as the vacant d orbitals containing vacant d orbitals also. All these actinoids form more complex, they are more better complex former compared to the lanthanides. Actinoids form more complexes compared to the lanthanoids. I have explained you all the lanthanides, how they form the complexes. They only form the complexes when there is a donor atom, the ligands donate the atoms, that is nitrogen, oxygen and fluorine. If there is an aromatic as well as the pi bonding, or the if there is a aromatic compound or the pi bonding molecules, or the if there is a vacant d orbitals also, then there is no formation of complex formation taking place in lanthanoids. But in actinoids, they form complexes even in the aromatic compounds as well as the pi bonding molecules as well as the ligands which are donating oxygen, nitrogen as well as fluorine. Therefore, actinoids are better complex former compared to the lanthanoids. Here, the decreasing order of the complex forming is for M4 plus and MO oxocations M3 plus MO2 2 plus. The decreasing order is of these ions are M4 plus, then comes MO2 2 plus, then comes M3 plus, then comes MO2 plus. This is the decreasing order of the complex formation in the actinoids. If I take oxocations that is, if I take oxocations that is dications, I am taking an example of UO2 2 plus. Here it is an oxo dication. It forms U oxygen double bond with single bond here with 2 plus charge. In this you all can see that the oxidation state of uranium is what? To calculate the oxidation state, you all know that X plus 2 into, here the value of oxygen is minus 2 is equal to 2, that is X is equal to 2 plus 4, X value is what? 6. Oxidation number of U is 6. It is plus 6. It gives the oxidation number plus 6. Here it is having a bond angle of 180 degree. The structure is linear in shape. It is having linear shape. These actinoids forms complex compounds with oxocations also. They are forming complexes with oxocations as well as pi bonded ligands, that is NO, CO, etc. as well as CN, and also the complex forming, that is donor atom, vacant d orbitals are there, means even there also there is a formation of bond taking place, and in aromatic compounds, that is pyridine, bipyridine, then orthophenanthralene, all this, in all these complexes, therefore actinoids forms the complex formation takes place in this actinoids. Next, we will see the similarities as well as the dissimilarities of the actinides as well as the lanthanoids. Coming for the comparisons between the lanthanides and actinoids, we will compare the similarities as well as the dissimilarities in the lanthanides and actinoids. From first I will glance for you all now. Coming for the similarities, you all have seen that in the atoms of the elements of both the series, that is in lanthanides as well as actinides, the extra electron it enters in n-2 into f orbitals. Both in lanthanoids and actinoids, the extra electrons enters by in n-2 into f orbitals. The electrons enters here, that is n-2 into f orbitals. The elements of both the series shows +3 oxidation state. I have explained that even the lanthanide shows the +3 oxidation state as well as actinoids shows the +3 oxidation state. Third point, like lanthanoid contraction in lanthanides, the actinoid contraction is taking place in actinoids. There is an actinoid contraction taking place in actinoids and lanthanoid contraction taking place in lanthanoids. That is due to what? Due to poor shielding effect that is taking place between both the series, that is lanthanides as well as actinoids. Then coming for this point, the absorption bands of the elements of both the series are so sharp, they appear like line-like bands. I have explained here, the band in the absorption spectra, in the visible region, they appear like a thin line like band. They are very sharp and they are thin like bands. Next, they both, that is lanthanides as well as actinides, has low electronegativities. Therefore, they are very reactive. The electronegativity is very low and they are very reactive. And both the lanthanides as well as actinides shows the paramagnetic nature. The magnetic nature is shown by the actinides as well as the lanthanide is paramagnetic nature. Coming for the dissimilarities, that is due to the nature of 4f and 5f orbitals. What are the dissimilarities you will see in the 4f and 5f, that is in actinides and lanthanides. Coming for the differences, that is lanthanides, and here you all have seen the addition of electron takes place in 4f orbitals in lanthanides. The filling of electrons takes place in 4f orbitals, but in actinoids the addition of electrons takes place in 5f orbitals. Coming for the binding energy, the binding energies of 4f orbitals are higher. I have explained that. That is, the binding energies of 4f orbitals are higher, therefore they don't involve in the bond formation. But the binding energies of 5f orbitals are lower, therefore they involve in the bond formation. Therefore they show the variable oxidation state also. I have explained in actinoids. Here these lanthanide shows the +2, +3 and +4 oxidation state up to +4 oxidation state. But these actinoids shows from +2, +3, +4, 5, 6 and 7. They show the variable oxidation state. That is due to binding energies of 5f orbitals. Here, due to large energy difference between the 4f and 5d orbitals, the properties of lanthanides are little bit similar. They show the similarities in their properties. But most of the that is due to the small energy difference between 5f and 6d, the properties of actinides are different. If the energy difference is very small, means they show the different properties. If the energy difference is very large, they show the fairly similar properties. Okay, not much. There is a fairly resemblance in their properties. Most of the tripositive lanthanide cations are colorless. They are all colorless. Tripositive cations are colorless. But most of the tripositive and tetrapositive actinoid cations are colored. These are all colored compounds. Lanthanoids do not form oxocations. I have explained about the oxocations. The lanthanide, they don't form with oxocations, but the actinoids forms some actinoids form oxocations of MO plus, MO2 plus and MO2 2 plus. With this, they form the oxocations. These are less basic, these are more basic. And except promethium, all the remaining lanthanides are radioactive. Are not radioactive. Except promethium, all the remaining lanthanides are radioactive. All actinoids are radioactive. All the actinide elements are radioactive in nature. This is about the actinoids. I have completely explained you all about the inner transitional elements, that is the lanthanides as well as the actinoids. In the next class, we will continue with the next unit, that is organometallic compounds. Except promethium, all the remaining lanthanides are non-radioactive. They are non-radioactive, but all actinides are radioactive in nature. This is about the actinides and actinides and lanthanides.